fragrance of Noah's spontaneous worship filled the heart of God and triggered the overflow of his blessings. Not only did God speak to himself about a determination to bless life and seasons on earth, the blessing ran over into Noah, his family, and other living creatures on earth. God opened his mouth and the overflow poured out from the heart of a father so pleased and so thrilled by sincere worship. He blessed Noah, his family, and other living things and sent them forth to enjoy, reproduce, and fill up the earth. Once again, like he did in the beginning with Adam, God blessed life on earth and commissioned Noah to lead that process. He pronounced the thoughts dancing in his mind from the moment the fragrance of Noah's worship rose up to him. Never again will I destroy every living thing on earth. It will no longer be about what man does, because man will always leave my way to go his way. This deal is between me and you, Noah, with your family and every living thing and the generations that will come after y'all. Upon the skies he made in the beginning, God signed off that deal with his pen of many colors, and Noah called it rainbow. God said, no matter what all of you do down there, when I get upset that you have left my way and made your own ways, I will look upon this signature of many colors that I put on this deal and not destroy y'all. When I'm sad that your evil is causing so much anguish upon the earth, and the cries of all make me restless that I want to strike out, I will look upon this signature of many colors that I put on this deal, and I will show mercy instead. When you act like you own the world that I created and change the natural course I put in place, and I am tempted to do something to show you all that this is my word, I will look upon this signature of many colors that I put on this deal, and I will relent. When you make laws that are oppressive, take laws into your hands and act like you are above the law, and I am disappointed because I made you all the same, irrespective of your uniqueness. And if in my anger I feel like descending and demolishing, I will look upon this signature of many colors that I put on this deal, and I will spare. When y'all act offended and unforgiving toward others, and I want to give you a taste of what it means for mere mortals to offend the Almighty, I will look upon this signature of many colors that I put on this deal, and I will let you be. When y'all claim my glory, call me names and act like I don't exist or matter, and everything in me stirs me to rise and crush this earth that is but a footstool to me, I will look upon this signature of many colors that I put on this deal, and I will rest my feet instead. When y'all are running all over the place like chicken without head and raising hell like Chicken Little, ignoring my calling, rejecting my peace, refusing to be still and know that I am God, and I am provoked, itching to stretch out and shut up everything. I am God, and I will be God no matter what. I made the deal, and I will keep this deal no matter what. And no matter how you lord it over one another on this earth I made, I will do all I have determined in their times and seasons, and not one of you can stop me. Thus, God signed off on that deal, and once again, like he did in the beginning, handed over the new earth to Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. As God commanded them, they reproduced and started to fill up the earth. Noah was a farmer. He planted grapevines for making wine, and he did make a lot of wine. My goodness! The wine from those grapes was so good that Noah went from wine tasting to getting deliriously drunk. So drunk that the old man got naked and passed out in his house. A man who had encountered God like nobody in his generation. A man with whom God communed as he built this historical ark that saved a remnant. A man whose worship stirred up God to initiate a covenant with every living thing. A man that made history with God, now passed out drunk, like someone who has never known God. How do you reconcile that? Did somebody say that too much of anything, good or bad, can mess you up big time if it doesn't kill you? Poor Ham walked into the house and there was his well-respected father snoring on the floor in his birthday suit. First off, the shock. Then the ridiculousness of it all hit him and he went back out and called his brothers. But Shem and Japheth were too embarrassed by Ham's description of their father's situation to even go look. They decided to get a blanket and walking backward, went in and covered their father and spared their eyes the humiliation of his indecent exposure. As I'm working on this video, I'm reminded of a story trending on social media of a famous gospel performer. This married man is so gifted in praise and worship and yet so afflicted by his trials. The year found him naked before the world that had watched him rise on the wings of his gifts. The loss he wouldn't deal with eventually dealt him a shameful and unforgettable blow. Although many of us who watched the indecent exposure of this minister and many others like him are not surprised that he came to this, but the question in the hearts of many is, how can someone who is supposed to be a vessel of honor bring such shame to this God that has been so good to them? I can imagine the same question playing in the mind of Noah's children. Did they ever discuss it, like sit down as a family and talk face to face with each other about what went wrong and how it can be corrected so the family can get past it? Many families I know don't talk about such things. They all wake up the next morning and act like it never happened. Unfortunately, bad things have happened and people have been hurt. And until they are addressed, things may never be okay with everybody else, no matter how they act like it doesn't matter. Everyone lives affected by the very thing they act like it didn't affect them. Noah most likely never had that discussion with his family. Instead, what we hear is that the old man was not happy with Ham because he saw him naked and told his brothers. The axe was angry with the wood for making it fall apart, which wouldn't have happened in the first place if the axe hadn't launched for the poor wood. But axes don't think, and those that do often don't think straight or right. Noah wasn't thinking straight or right either, so he felt justified to be angry with Ham. In his anger, he placed the curse on him. Get your journal. It's time for some reflections. Since Noah, how many lives and homes have been wrecked by too much of the good things and the not so good things of life? How many children have been cursed and their course in life derailed by the recklessness of those who should know better? How many issues are ripping up families and homes because nobody wants to talk about the unpleasant things which don't go away until they are confronted and corrected? Your life and family, do you see any resemblance with Noah's life and family? Of course, he was a righteous man, But good people do bad things sometimes, just like bad people do good things sometimes too. What can you do today to address some of the issues that have been swept under the carpet in your family to ensure that it doesn't generate further rift in relations? Remember, whatever steps that are being considered must be taken in love, otherwise it will turn to finger pointing and name calling and defeat the noble purpose. What can you do today to make sure that, like Noah, the good things in your life don't become a problem to you and your family? And if there are problems already, what will you do going forward to make things right? Don't sit on your hands and wait for someone else to make the change you all need. Set a good example. Make the first move. Reach out. Start the discussion. If you do what you can and they don't want to get involved, then commit it to God and trust Him to open the doors at the right time for things to be made right. Check out the links and the scriptures below for additional help. Feel free to share your thoughts and answers in the comments. Be inspired. You are a star and it's your time to shine. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with family and friends. Jump in and join me in the next video still on this series of New Beginning as we consider, what is your why?